Hello everyone, Stephen Harold here, and welcome to the channel. We'll be discussing horror movies for you guys in a very blunt way. In this movie review, I'm going to be finally giving you guys my review for Nosferatu, released on Christmas Day of 2024, and was directed by Robert Eggers. As you all remember, the first movie review I released in 2025 for the channel was for the 1922 film Nosferatu. And of course, that film being over 100 years old, you knew that this film was going to have a remake at some point. Now, I know there was one done before, and then like a biopic type of, imaginary type of story with it in term of Nosferatu, which starred Willem Dafoe in that film as the character of Count Orlok or Max Schreck. It was only a matter of time before this got the remake treatment. Now, when I heard the news that Nosferatu was going to be remade and Robert Eggers was behind it, I got excited just like other horror fans around the world. And of course, Christmas Day, this film finally comes out, and a lot of people had finally given their reviews, and I wanted to make sure I waited until the physical media copy was actually released and got the steelbook for it. Now, it's only a matter of time before I actually start talking about this film that was widely regarded as one of the best films of 2024. So, without further ado, let's get into my review of the 2024 remake of Nosferatu. Now, of course, when it comes to the story of this film, we don't need to really spend too much time on this. It's a remake of the 1922 film, which was a soft type of reimagining or, legal issues kind of adaptation or ripoff of Bram Stoker's Dracula, and that's where Nosferatu was born. And this movie is a complete remake of that. But of course, there are some differences, obviously, with sound, different actors, not characters, but also just atmosphere. You gotta remember, back in 1922, they did what they could when it came to special effects or anything like that. And of course, it's 2024 at this time when this movie was released, and of course, things are gonna be different. So when it comes to the story, this film, of course, it's a very nice, kind of copy and paste in a way of the 1922 film with some added scenes and added melody for it. We do get one character who is predominantly used throughout the whole entire film, possibly even a character change. But other than that, when it comes to the story, it's really good, especially with the fact that it's a remake, and I know a lot of us are not very fond with the remakes nowadays, but you know what? Some remakes are really good, and this is one of them. So the main character of this film is Ellen Hunter, played by Lily Rose Depp. Her character in this film is the one that our antagonist grows attached to, and you have to have a performance that's well worthy of that character, because in the 1922 film, it was more about the husband more than the wife, and this one, they really focused on the wife so much more than they did in the 1922 film, and it delivers, and Lily Rose Depp delivers. Now, it's also a crying shame to me that the Oscars have already passed, and Lily Rose Depp was not even nominated for an Academy Award for her performance. And that shocked me the most, because it's like, are you fucking kidding me? She did phenomenal in this film. Her character of Ellen goes through so many damn different emotions, including one that's going to get its own segment in this. But other than that, her character in this movie shines bright and is always a great joy to see. And I can't wait to see what else Lily Rose Depp does. All I know is that her father must be super fucking proud of her. Then we have Thomas Hunter, played by Nicholas Hoult, who, this is the second vampire movie that Nicholas Hoult has been a part of. I mean, he just did Renfield, for fuck's sakes. And now, here he is as Thomas, and he's basically the sales guy. And his character, when my first time viewing this film, I didn't really tend to like, but then the second time and the third time, finally, I grew a better appreciation of the character, especially with Nicholas Hoult's performance. Everything he did in this film was top-notch. I couldn't believe I didn't see it. I think it's because of the amount of screen time and that dominating performance that Lily Rose Depp did, that now when I finally got to focus on Nicholas Hoult's character, I was like, okay, I understand where he's coming from. I understand this character a lot better. And Nicholas Hoult did an amazing job. So not only am I looking forward to Nicholas Hoult and other projects, especially when it comes to the horror genre, but I'm mainly looking forward to him as Lex Luthor in the new Superman film. But other than that, Nicholas Hoult's character and performance in this film is really good. Then we have his friend Frederick, who is played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. Now, originally my first viewing of this, I didn't care about his character. His second viewing, I started to care a little bit more, and then the third time watching this film, finally, after I had purchased the film, I was like, you know what? I actually like his character. He is the most sane of all of this. He believes in this. He believes in just the science of everything. He doesn't believe that this plague and everything is caused because of an undead corpse, this Nosferatu, this vampire. And when shit finally hits the fan for him, you feel it. Like, this guy goes through emotions too, from happy, joyful, another emotion we'll get to, anger and sorrow and sadness, and he just plays it so fucking well. When he finally goes through the ringer of what he had to go through in this film, it's like you understand where he's coming from, like, in all emotions. And Aaron Taylor Johnson, yeah, Craven wasn't the greatest, but this film at least made up for it, and you did a fine job in this film. And then we got Albin, played by Willem Dafoe. Man, Willem Dafoe is a fucking madman when it comes to filmmaking, but I mean, like, you know, Robert Eggers always goes to him because I guess he is committed to every character he is playing in any fucking film. I mean, have you guys seen The Lighthouse? Yeah, good shit, right? He is a joy. I mean, the minute he finally comes onto the screen, he kind of steals... He doesn't really steal the show. I mean, like, you really focus on him, but all the other characters are so well done that he blends in very fucking well, even though he's kind of kooky to a lot of the characters. His performance in this film, I understand why they will probably say, like, oh, there's a reason why he didn't get the Academy Award nomination, but it's like, yeah, well, you know, Anthony Hopkins got an Academy Award nomination for Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs, and he only had 10 to 15 minutes of screen time. Willem Dafoe had more in this film, and his character was pretty important in this film, just like the rest. So, where's Willem Dafoe's roses? Where the fuck is his roses? Other than that, Willem Dafoe did a great job in this film, and I look forward to what Robert Eggers brings to the table even more with him. Now we get to the character who the movie is named after, Count Orlok, or Nosferatu, played by Bill Skarsgård in this film. And it's really hard to see Bill Skarsgård. I mean, like, when I first heard that Bill Skarsgård was announced for this, I was like, you're gonna recognize him immediately. I mean, remember, he did Pennywise in the new It films, and it was just like, yeah, you're gonna recognize him. In this film, he is unrecognizable. I love how the marketing for this film never really showed what Nosferatu looked like in the film, and I have to give massive props to that. That's a big, bold statement to do when it came to the marketing. You want to get the asses in the seats to see what Orlok even looks like. And when you finally get to see what he looks like, it's something different. And he doesn't look like what Max Schreck went for. And although a lot of people, they really complained at the fact that he has a fucking mustache. Dude, have you guys read the Bram Stoker novel? Dracula had a mustache. Like, he did. Like, what the fuck happened, guys? Like, start reading some more source material. You guys are basically so based on, you know, Bela Lugosi and Max Schreck's portrayals of vampires, especially Christopher Lee's. But there have been vampires that have mustaches, and this guy has a very 18th century fucking mustache. I mean, everything about his character in this movie, he has that silhouette, the profile of Nosferatu, especially with the paying homage to the staircase where he's just like this, you know, going up the stairs. I love how they paid homage to that, and Bill Skarsgård, you know, he did a fucking phenomenal job with this film. Especially with the voice. I mean, you didn't get to hear what Nosferatu sounded like in the silent era film, because it was silent, right? So to hear his voice in this one, it matches very well. It goes very well. And something about Bill Skarsgård's portrayal of Nosferatu, Count Orlok, is unique in a way. I mean, even with his look, he looks like a Rasputin type of character. And he's intimidating. Like, you can't see Bill Skarsgård under that makeup. It was fucking hard for me to even look. It's like, he doesn't look like Bill Skarsgård in this film. Like, you can't see it. And his performance in this film, I don't know why he didn't get a fucking nomination at the Oscars. Oh wait, it's a horror fucking film. Of course he's not gonna get one, right? Of course. But nonetheless, Bill Skarsgård has so much damn range now when it comes to these these characters he plays. And I can't wait to see what other performances he could probably do, especially with these rumors of the Universal monsters coming back. I'd love to see where Bill Skarsgård would fit in any of those. But other than that, he did a fantastic job as Count Orlok. When it comes to the film's gore and kills, there's a lot of gore in this, because remember, there is a plague type of thing going on in this film. So you get to see a lot of the bodies from the plague victims, but that's just, you know, what happens, right? But when we do see the violent nature of Nosferatu, it's graphic, it's violent. I mean, there's even 2 kills in this movie that it's like, when I went to go see it, my theater was playing it as 14A. When I saw those kills, I was like, that's not 14A. That is fucking R. That is a hard R right there. And I was treated very nicely when it comes to the gore and the kills. I mean, there wasn't that fucking many, but they were good nonetheless. But there was something else that really, really caught my attention when it came to this film. The kills, they did, but something else caught my attention better. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, what's catching my attention, it's the cinematography. This film was beautifully shot. I mean, there are so many scenes in this film that just put the 1922 film at rest and just say, look at this the stunning visuals of this, the stunning effects. Everything about this movie, like, I've never seen a scene which incorporated a road in the middle of the fucking forest, and it's snowing, it's so quiet, and it's just beautiful to fucking look at. This movie, even from the trailers I had seen, I was like, this movie's going to be very gorgeous to look at in a very gothic type of way. I mean, even the shot that they showed in the trailer in this movie with the shadow of the hand stretching out over the city. Again, what a great fucking visual, man. This movie's visuals are amazing, especially with its cinematography and everything in between. They did a fine job with this film. And you know what? I started hearing what a lot of people were saying online, and I have to agree. I think Robert Eggers, if he's going to do another fucking horror film that's of this style, I'd love to see what Robert Eggers can do with a remake of Phantom of the Opera. I would love to see what that does. Because you know for a fact, this movie was beautiful to look at. You know, Phantom of the Opera, if he was to get his hands on that, it's going to look gorgeous. And this movie, when it came to its cinematography, its visual effects, and everything, I'm glad it got a nomination. Because it fucking deserved it. There is one glaring thing about this movie that, you know, times have changed. And, of course, there are certain things you can show on film that you can't show back in the day. And, one of those things, especially of the time, is gratuitous sexuality. This movie, if you guys haven't heard, if you guys have still not seen this film, is a very, very, very horny film. Horny, you say? Not that kind of fucking horny. You can relax. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, so when it comes to this film's horniness, it's not like really out there, like, you know, like someone's, you know, oh, right? It's the subtle things, you know, like Ellen's character is just wanting to fuck her husband, right? And then at the same time, there is a thing I summed it up with some people. I'm like, This movie is essentially a corpse looking to get some pussy. And it's fucking true. If you wanted to sum this movie up in a very short context, say that. Everyone would be like, what? Really? It's really out there. There's a scene with Nicholas Hoult and Emily Rose Depp that is just like a, oh shit, oh okay, goddamn. But nonetheless, this movie, when it came to the sexual context of this film, there's one scene that was just like, you know, there's Friedrich's problem going on in the movie. And I mean, I could say the spoilers if you guys want me to. But I know there are some people who probably haven't seen this yet, so I'm not going to say it. But he makes a decision because, like, there is this passing mention that he cannot keep his hands off his wife. In any state. And it just, like, yeah, this solidified this movie as this film was so goddamn horny, this did not need a 14A rating. It needed a fucking R. But if you guys are into that kind of thing or are very curious on how horny this movie really is, just remember, it's not like out there like Pornhub, but with subtext and a lot of true emphasis when it comes to someone's sexuality. It's a really horny film. Above all else, I saw this movie a week after it was released. So it was released on Christmas Day, but I never got to see it. I was too busy. And when I finally got to watch it, I was like, whoa, goddamn, this film was really good. And then I went and saw it again in theaters. And then finally, after buying it on the Steelbook, I watched it again for this review. And I have to say, this film, even though it's long, it doesn't feel like 2 hours went by sometimes. The characters are all unique in a way and just steal the performances right out of the gate. The visuals are stunning and beautiful. Bill Skarsgård is unrecognizable as Count Orlok, and if anyone wants a good makeup tutorial thing, just watch this film, because this is the first time I've ever seen a vampire who, he's a corpse, and he is literally rotting away. Like, you can see the fucking maggots on him in scenes, and it's like, how does no one fucking notice this? Other than that, like, the characters are all great. The story, of course, it's a remake and a nice adaptation to the 1922 film, but it works. The characters are amazing. Count Orlok is amazing. The deaths, you know, they're few and far, but still amazing to also watch. And if you really want to have a good remake of a very historical film that's well over 100 years old, this is the way to do it. And I will say that this film did deserve a lot more nominations at the Academy Award than it got. And hopefully we can get more of our Universal monsters in styles like this, because this is now the template for what the Universal monsters can come back from and be portrayed on screen amazingly. So anyways, guys, for my rating, I'm going to give Nosferatu from 2024 an 8 out of 10. So guys, did you enjoy the 2024 release of Nosferatu? Let me know in the comments down below. If you liked the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more content. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you get notified about all the other videos coming out on the channel. And hopefully we're not done, because there's a special holiday coming up tomorrow and I have to do a review of a certain franchise for that film. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. This is your host, Stephen Harold. I will talk to you guys later. And remember to stay spooky. And if a corpse really wants to fuck you ladies, just say no. Necrophilia is wrong.